How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Dak Down with aka the Dig Dug himself, and ladies and gents, boys and girls, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and today we're fighting the Genedrome. Now, this isn't a very long quest, as you can tell. It's like a 5-minute quest, but truth be told, it really is only like a 5-minute quest. It is a drone monster. It is a proper like drone monster, like little raptor monsters. These quests don't really take long at all. The thing is, though, this is probably the best drone monster you will probably fight. Not necessarily the best, but it has the most use out of it. So off the cuff, it's the Genedrome. The Genedrome is the paralysis type monster. For the most part, it and its little cronies, the Genprey, they will paralyze you or do their best to do so. So for the most part, when you go to fight them, understand that it's probably going to happen at least once or twice, and nothing you can really do about it. There is armor you can actually make to actually give you a bit of a resistance to it, but that, in my opinion, that's kind of stretching. That's kind of stretching the congruity to it because it's only like a 5-minute quest. But then again, if you really want it done, the Genprey quest, the Genprey armor, if you actually make a couple of pieces of those, it'll give you the armor, the paralysis resistance. But then again, like I said, not really worth the fuss because Genedrome falls over like a, he literally just gets folded like a pair of slacks. Okay, it's not a really tough fight. I will say this though, because he's very thin and he's quite mobile, he likes to move a lot, him and his people, it's kind of hard to really hit him certain times. Like, you'll be like, okay, I go to take a swing and he'll jump over here and you miss him or whatever. I'm using the great sword in this particular quest, the brave great sword, so it's actually a little hard for me to actually get some solid hits on him because he's moving quite often. But for the most part, if you just focus on your efforts, you should be able to come out here with no real issues. I mean, you will get paralyzed. I mean, I'm paralyzed right now, but that's just something that you have to really deal with. But for the most part, the number one thing people really worry about the Genedrome for is one particular weapon. You don't need to worry about his armor. You really don't. You don't really need to worry about elemental resistances because roughly right now you don't really have any elemental weapons. But if you do, kudos to you. Again, like I say, doesn't really have any health, so you can just like come and beat him to death with whatever you have. But the main thing is to actually, if you're viable with it, his sword and shield in Generations and even still in this game is still quite viable. I think they nerfed it a tad bit in this one, but that's like way later. But early on, his weapon is actually still very useful, so you're going to actually want to fight him. I recommend, if you dabble in sword and shield, make his sword and shield. It's not very hard to do. You first have to fight a couple of Velociprey, then a Velocidrome. I'm actually spoiling a little bit because we haven't actually covered the Velocidrome yet. We will, though. I think he should be the next fight or the fight after next, but make his sword and shield because it has very high amounts of paralysis on it. Honestly, probably the best paralysis weapon in the entire game. Paralysis is one of the easier elementals to actually, ailments, that's the word, ailments to get in the game, so totally go for that. Again, his armor isn't very good. He himself doesn't have very decent weapons outside of the sword and shield. So for the most part, you're gonna fight him and just do your best to actually try not to honestly die. I know this sounds very simple, but a lot of these monsters early on, there really didn't need to be any deployed tactics to actually come out on top here. Just understand, because you fought a couple of these drone monsters before, you know, the pack monsters, I should say, the ones with the little guys around you, that they are going to try to jump in and do whatever they can to get you, but just focus on the main guy. You should be in relatively decent hands. Of course, the fact that he doesn't actually spit anything, he just kind of jumps and claws at you, makes him very akin to the Velocidrome. It's just the only difference between him and the Velocidrome that the Velocidrome doesn't actually paralyze you, and neither does his little friend. So understand your efforts when you actually go to fight him with that in mind. But other than that, really dead serious, guys. I'm not really tripping. Just come here with whatever you actually feel comfortable with, whatever style you actually feel comfortable with, whatever weapon you feel comfortable with, whatever anything you feel comfortable with. It's too early, in my honest opinion, to really focus too heavily on tactics, but I will tell you these couple of things that you really need to actually focus on, so that way you can go in here with no issues. The fact that he is a pack monster, he does have the little guys around him, they will kind of get on your nerves and he will paralyze you. His sword and shield is the best in the game. Granted, you can kind of get away with most of his weapons anyway. If you like paralysis, you can kind of do that. There's a couple of paralysis weapons you kind of get early on, but his is some of the best stuff, obviously. But that's the real draw to the Genedrome. So if you want to actually have a really good paralysis weapon, his stuff is actually very decent. His weapons are the best when it comes to that kind of thing. It's just that his the rest of his gear really isn't. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I can say right now about my man Genedrome here. There's really not much else to say. But that's that. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your continued support. I'm trying to knock these videos out as quick as I can. If you want me to update some of the like the layouts in which I do these videos, please let me know. I'm really just trying to make this as easy as possible for you guys to actually watch the video and get messages and information conveyed to you. So if you have any recommendations, like what you want to see me do to better this entire series in the future, please do not hesitate to ask, because it's just going to make everything better, not just for me, but for yourself as well. But yes, that's all I really have for you guys. You all take care. Have a wonderful day. I will talk to you on the next one. It's been your boy.